So after doing that for a few times, I said, okay, now I'll slowly try to see if I can manipulate my dreams. So, but instead of trying to change anything, I thought, I'll just see what's going on. So what I did personally was I would just pick somebody out of the crowd if there was people in the dream, and I'd walk up to them and I'd say, hey, I'm having a lucid dream and you're in my dream, and I don't recognize you. I've never seen you before. Are you trying to represent something to me, or what? And it was funny. Some of the people got to actually talking back to me. I remember once when I first started this, and I'd go up to people and I'd say, hey, I'm having a lucid dream. You're in my dream. So I know I'm actually you. You're out of my subconscious mind, but are you trying to represent something to me? Sometimes they might say something that's totally off the wall. But this one dude I walked up to, and I done the same thing. You trying to represent something to me? And he looked at me just as serious as me, and he said, I ain't trying to represent a damn thing. Okay, But after experimenting along those lines, and this don't really happen that often to me now, but when I have a lucid dream, if I can keep myself centered and not get carried away, get too excited, and just observe for a while and then start intermingling with the people and the things that are in the dream, you can actually change whatever it is you want to. And one of the other things in the book about inducing lucid dreams was when you realize you are having a lucid dream, the first thing you need to do is pick out a point of reference in the dream. Like, trying to think from experience, I remember having one dream, and as soon as it became lucid, I saw a big sign hanging up on a wall, on a wooden wall, and that's all it was. It wasn't a building, it was just a wall with a big sign on it. And I don't remember what the sign said, but I used that as a point of reference and said, okay, if you start drifting off back into, well, I'm losing my, being lucid, go back to the sign, look at it. And that kind of triggers the subconscious to stay within the lucid dreaming part. And the more you practice that, the easier it becomes, the more often it happens. And then it's truly it's a really unique experience. So, do you ever have lucid dreams?
I've had some.
Aren't they great?
They are good.
Have you ever manipulated any of them?
Sort of. But I don't think it was on purpose. The ones that I've had, and they actually happened more frequently a long time ago.
Uh-huh. Before you was quite as brainwashed as we all get to be sometimes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I probably in my teenage years.
Well, see,
I had them more.
That's the thing about it, because when you're younger, and I don't recall now, as old as I am, I don't recall having lucid dreams as a kid, but now I did have a lot of the dreams where my body, my spirit was leaving the body, the astral projection part of it. I had those since I was just a little guy, and of course, being small, it scared the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was dying, because I don't know how it works for everybody else. I only speak for myself, but every time I'm going to have a out-of-body experience, I wake up and I know I'm awake, but I'm paralyzed and I'm laying in bed and I can't move, and it feels like there's a ton of pressure on me. It doesn't hurt, but it's like my head feels like it's going like that, like it's going to blow up, and I can't move an arm, I can't move anything, but I can actually see. If I tell myself I can't move, I'm getting ready to have this projection, but I can't move, and then I can see my arm come up and like start moving around, but yet I'm still aware that my arm is actually laying on the bed. So I'm seeing that, and then all of a sudden, if I can stay relaxed enough and get past the fear part of it, then all of a sudden it's like, boom. And usually the first thing that happens is I float up to the ceiling and I'm looking down at myself laying on the bed, and I'm thinking, cool, I got out of my body. And then the next step is I can do anything, so I can go right through this ceiling, and I do sometimes I don't. It all depends on, I guess, my own personal state of mind and what's going on with me, because sometimes as soon as I feel like I've left my body and I look down and see myself, and it might be a subconscious fear, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I'll right back again, and then I go to sleep. But it always happens pretty much the same way, the same kind of feeling. And it's gotten now, as I've gotten older, to the point where when I lay down to go to sleep at night, I get sometimes, and this is usually every time before I have an out-of-body experience, I will feel like there's something, you know how you get the squirrely feeling in your head, something like kind of like cold chills that most people just absolutely hate to have them. They always interest me, and it feels good in a kind of a perverted kind of way, I guess. But to me, it's beckoning, hey, something's going to happen. So usually every time that happens, when I'm just laying down doing my meditation, say, before I go to sleep, if that head starts crawling like that, it's like, oh yeah, I think tonight I'm going to get out of the body. And again, everybody, well, not everybody, but an awful lot of people would tell me, what a dream you had, Ron. You know, they don't believe that your spirit can leave your body. And you know what? Again, that's their truth. So I would say to those people, well, you're right. You know, you can't leave your body. Because as long as that's your truth, that's what it is, right? My truth is I'm leaving my body. Is it just a physical dream? If you think it is, then by all means, that's what it is. I'm just dreaming, you know, and I'm not going to argue with you. But to me, I know it's more than just a dream. And I can't, I don't want to convince anybody that, you know, but I wish that everybody could have some of those same experiences I've had, because the times when I do feel like that I've left my body and I'm going, I go to places that, again, I can't describe it. It's just, it feels like you're back home. And there's usually, now I have had what I guess some people would call spirit guides. And again, it depends on your truth. You know, do you have spirit guides? Well, yeah, if you think you do, you do. If you think you don't, then you don't. Pure and simple. But I have seen spirit guides, and I have had experiences where they'll take me by the hand when I'm out of body and take me and show me things that I don't think I could have got there by myself. Again, is it a dream? Is it not a dream? Well, if you look at life like I do, it's all a dream. So what difference does it make, right? But anybody want to experience lucid dreaming, that would try what I just told you. Spend a day thinking about it and doing little scenarios with your subconscious, and 100 times during the day, just stop whatever you're doing right in the middle of walking in to buy your new dress or whatever. Just stop looking at this. Wait a minute, am I really doing this or am I dreaming? And for some reason, I know with me, it triggers that subconscious.
I'm going to start doing that. I was looking, I'm going to start today. I was going to try to put it at the first of the month, but hell with it. And try it, and I'll get back with you in a month and see.
And I will offer, if you're really interested in that and it's not working for you, if you want me to bring you that book, let you read that. I know it helped me out a lot, but I'm sure I don't remember everything in the book, but I'll be happy to share that with you.
And, you know, not believing it's not a problem, because I do believe it. I mean, when I lived in Nashville, I remember you came and visited me.
I remember our trip to Nashville and that thunderstorm and tornado crap. I remember that. That's one of my most beautiful memories. Even though the drive down there was kind of trying.
And the dream that I can remember from being, I had to be really, really, really little. But it was upstairs at my grandmother's house. And it was like different sections. And in one section there was this lady, like an angel, but she was like a just not a blue dress, but like blue floaty stuff around her. And then if I went through in the middle bedroom upstairs, if I went through where the window was, in reality, if you go out that way, you're on the roof of the porch. But there was a door in my dream, and I had this dream several times when I was little. And you could go into the next little room, and it was like a whole bunch of toys.
That's
and sometimes
very prophetic.
I could sit and play, but I could also, every once in a while, I could go even further, and I was in a meadow. surrounded by trees.
There you
And that was where I always kept trying to get
Right.
to, was that meadow.
Right.
But I couldn't always get there. And I still remember that
And
dream.
when-
I had to be little.
And when you got there, do you remember the feeling that you had?
It was like peace.
It's total,
Yeah.
unconditional
Yes.
love, peace, and beauty. That's all
Yeah.
you saw.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about when
Yeah.
I have my out of
Yeah.
bodies. That's why I would love for everybody to have that experience, because words you can tell me, and because we are attuned to each other so much, I really get an understanding of what you felt, but you can't truly tell me and put into words exactly your feelings
Right.
to anyone. But I would just tell everybody, try that, because that feeling, it not only does it feel so great when it's happening, but do you remember, even though you was little, when you woke up from that, how did you feel that next day?
Good. I wanted to
Exactly.
go back.
Exactly. That's the way that it's kind of like recharging your own spirit. It's like, and I think that's why it happens. Spirit in its infinite wisdom has got to be free, and all the crap that we put up with as a human being, and all the drama and all the stuff that we think so real, we get overloaded, and that's why we have our dreams. I really think so. But when you have one like you had, it re-energizes you, and not only does it feel so great, that feeling of pure unconditional love, peace, and nothing but just being, it carries over. And especially if you keep thinking about it, it'll stay with you for the longest time. And it makes, for me anyway, it makes all the bullshit you have to put up with as a human being in this life, it makes it a lot easier to deal with, because like you said, you want to go back the next day. I'd like to go every night to where I've been, and even different places. I told you about the story I wrote years ago, Children of the Astral World. That's where that was based on. Things that I see, and whether it's real, illusion, imagined, or dream, it doesn't make any difference.
Oops, I accidentally moved you.
That's all right. I've been moved before.